The four delusive views and the path to awakening. Because the true nature of reality is dissatisfactory. When we're not mindful, we always fall into this state of boredom. This boredom is kind of little dissatisfaction. And you can find that even children know about it. You know, it says, well, I'm bored, what can I do, mommy? The mother will say, well, go and play with your old toys, you know, with some toys you've not played before, you know. And the child will go and find something to do, seek to do something. So in this seeking, you must always find a result in this seeking. If we seek and we don't find, there's a lot of suffering. You know, the child, mommy, I can't find, you know. When a child has this suffering, it'll give you suffering as well, you know. I can't find it, I want it, I can't find it. So when we are poor, we go out seeking for something. And usually when we go out to seek for something, we expect to find it. If we don't find it, then there's a great deal of suffering. This seeking is a natural thing, it's a craving that we have. We are dissatisfied with whatever position that we are in. We've got to find something. To find whatever is it, satisfaction. And we have an idea that, well, if we do this, if we find this, we'll be happy. Like a child, you know, find, oh yes. And when they get the thing that they're looking for, they are satisfied. And that satisfaction, we think, comes from getting the thing we want. But that satisfaction usually is just the ending of this craving, ending of this seeking. Suddenly we don't have to seek anymore. And that is the peace that comes from the cessation of the seeking, cessation of craving, not the actual getting of the thing. As soon as we get the thing, we're happy. But it's not the thing itself. To enjoy the thing, we've got to make things up. Say, oh, this thing is good. How today? No. And after a while, we get fed up with it. You know? Then we've got to look again. So there's always this constant dissatisfaction. Because there's this constant dissatisfaction, we go out seeking. And when we seek, we suffer. And then we find something. And then there's the cessation of the seeking. So you go through all this process. We can notice it very clearly if we go, say, high up in the mountain and look at the beautiful scenery, magnificent scenery. And we stay with that scenery. We're not looking at anything. You know, we're not focusing on anything. And at that time, craving does not arise. We're not seeking anything. But that's this blissful feeling, just looking at nothing. Just being aware of this scenery. But as soon as we focus on something within the scenery, the mind starts working. It starts getting hotter, start making up things. We've got to let go of that thing and then not focus on anything particular to get that blissful feeling. bliss usually comes from not seeking, cessation of craving. But most of us don't look at this boredom, this dissatisfaction. We just want to feel that boredom is something to do. Whatever it is, do this, satisfied, do this, and then be satisfied. I keep on going through this process of craving, cessation of craving, craving, cessation of craving. But the problem with craving sometimes is that when it will lead to attachment. Right? When craving is strong, it leads to attachment. When the attachment is strong, it leads to becoming. When the becoming is strong, it leads to so in our daily life, most people go through this process. But if we look back and examine and see this dissatisfaction, then we can start to learn to cope with it, to deal with it. There are two reasons why people don't look at it. And the first is because it's suffering, it's dissatisfaction. They do not want to know about it. It's uncomfortable. It's much easier to go and do something. The second thing is, when they know and see it, they do not know how to deal with it. They don't know what to do with it. I have this thing, constantly seeking. How do I deal with it? Where does it come from? So that dissatisfaction and the cause of dissatisfaction is actually the first noble truth and the second noble truth. There is dissatisfaction. Craving or desire is the cause of this dissatisfaction. So if we do not attend to this dissatisfaction and look at it and to acknowledge that this is actually the state of our mind, then we can't begin on the path. You'll be constantly going on seeking, getting something, happy, seeking again, and seeking again, and seeking again. Until we come to a big craving which we cannot be satisfied. We find something really good, we want that, and we can't get it, or we get attached to it. And when we get attached to it, we become protective of it. We can't bear to be away from it. Suffering to be away from something we like. That's when we are attached to it. And we're so possessive of it, we can't listen to any criticism of it. We get hurt. People don't like it. Whatever that we like, it's no good. It's not good enough. But the worst thing is when we have to part with it. There's grief and there's suffering. The suffering of this longing when we lose it. that longing is very painful. For people who have, lost something, they somebody they have loved. So when they come to that stage, when they come to realize, that how did it all happen? How can I prevent it from happening again? And they suddenly sort of realize that life is not worth living because I don't have this thing. This thing is everything. I don't have it now. It's not worth living. So then they come to find solutions, how to cure all this longing. But the second delusive view of life which contribute to the suffering we get, the dissatisfaction that is mind, is that we think things are permanent. Friendship is permanent. Relationship is permanent. My job is permanent. This idea of permanency comes actually from the ideas itself. Ideas are permanent, when their concepts are permanent. But the way things are in this world, it is not permanent. Because we project an idea on the things that we see. Like I've said before in my previous talk, we build up an identity, of what the thing is. You see something, you see its shape, its colour. Then we add to it all these attributes, it's lovely, it's good, it's valuable, so on. And when we build this identity, they are permanent in their nature. Right? Because it stays in our mind. It doesn't grow old. It doesn't grow bad, like an apple, it doesn't grow bad. It stays the same forever like that. So you have an idea what our friend looks like, 10 years later they're different. Then what happened? So that's the thing, everything that we see, the first thing that we see is that, well, it's there, this big TV there, it'll last me for 20 years we never ever think of it breaking down. And then suddenly, when you want to watch a program, it breaks down, you thought, hey, what happened? That's natural, That's the second delusive view. The third one is the idea that things have an essence, right? for example, this cup, this cup, there is something, that's the essence of the cup. It really did exist. Things like antique, something really that exists. An antique cup really exists. So what's the difference between an antique cup and a junk? You think, well, it's different, one's more valuable. But junk can become an antique the next day, and then antique can become a junk the next day, That depends on the valuation, how you see, what attributes you put to a thing. And all these things are man-made, mind-made. Convention made up by society. Even painting like the sunflower of Van Gogh, worth a lot of money. Because everybody says it's a lot of money. Somebody come up and say, well, Van Gogh is not so good, and he's really able to convince somebody. And I'm sure the value of Van Gogh's painting was wrong. If you come up with a theory why Van Gogh is not good, and it may convince a lot of people, right? That it's not actually as good as people think. When enough people are convinced, its value will change. We tend to take these things for real, antique, value of thing. We argue over it, It is real in the conventional sense, but in the ultimate sense, just it's made of wood or made of paint, cloth. It's got a good signature on it, If you have a copy of Van Gogh, that's not good enough. It's not Van Gogh. It's a copy of Van Gogh. Maybe exact copy, but still not Van Gogh. You have to be convinced of that, because there's a difference in the value in both of these paintings. They cannot afford to have a copy exactly the same as Van Gogh. They would devalue Van Gogh. That's it. That's not the reason. So people who own this thing have to keep up the delusion, that this thing is worth that much. And the fourth delusive views is the one which most people avoid looking at. And it has to do with our body. This is not the subject which people want to talk, about bodies, We always have this identity, of a person. You don't talk about bodies, you don't talk about hair, you don't talk about teeth, you don't talk about the liver, the heart, feces, urine, blood, pus, skeleton, and all this are in us. It's inside us. You don't think about it, our delusion covers it. You don't see it at all. You see just the identity of a person. That's the person. That's the features. That's it. No internal part. You don't see that. On our skin, on every pore, we actually have hairs. You don't notice the hairs. Don't see that. Mustn't see that. Delusions covers that. Wants to make it look beautiful. I want to see everything beautiful. Because we like things. We like to have things that are beautiful. We adverse the thing which is ugly. But suppose we are in a swimming pool and then there's an announcement which says, well, there's going to be a bag full of feces, urine, pus, hair, floating in this swimming pool. We're going to test it out to see whether it floats or not. Everybody will get out of the pool, We don't realize that we who are in the pool have all this thing inside us, a floating bag of, urine, feces. You don't see that. Try not to see that. But feces is in us, inside us. We all have it. But once it is outside us, it becomes a health hazard. Oh, I got this infected, this whole place, I got this feces, yeah. Once it's inside us, well, it's okay. When we go to the toilet, do our thing, quickly flush it, Don't know about it. So we have to have a look at what the body is made up of. It is made up of the 32 parts of the body. Hair of the head, hair of the body, skin, teeth, bone, blood, urine, heart, lungs, kidney. So we don't have any delusion that one of these parts is going to fail. You don't have this inkling that you're going to fall sick, or this inkling that you might just die. No. Have this view of permanent. I'm going to be here now. I'm going to be here in 100 years' time, It is this delusion which established this view that prevent us from getting on the path. Delusion covering the ugly side of who we are, what other people are like. So we can build an identity of something that's lovely. Fall in love with the identity. Not with the person. No, you don't fall in love with the person. You fall in love with the identity. You like a person. You like an identity of the person. You dislike somebody. You dislike the identity of the person. That's all delusion. It's all mind created conditioning. All our lives, all this time. So we live in this world, interacting with this delusive identity, having this delusive views, Then we just wonder, why is this happening to me? Right? It is natural. Things that happen to us is natural because it is cause and effect. We have this body that lasts 70 years, 80 years, 40 years, 30 years. That's it. It has its cause and its effect. If we start looking at things clearly, seeing things the way they are, then we begin to take the urgency to try to do something about it. Try to find a way out. Try to find a way to lessen whatever that's about to come. Whether it's sickness, whether it's illness, whether it's death, whether it's old age, whatever it is. So that when it happens, you don't ask the question, why is it happening to me? But there's another more important reason for seeing this delusion. That reason is to enter the path of awakening. All these things have been seen by the Buddha about 2,600 years ago. He has seen it clearly. He has seen the ugliness of things. He has seen the impermanence of things. He has seen the old age. He has seen death. He wants the solution. He wants to find out whether there's a solution to all of this. And he found out, yes, there is something other than that. There's something which is unborn, uncreated, permanent, amazing, blissful. And that's the third noble truth. Nibbana. And then when he has attained it, he spells out the way of getting in that state. First, sees that there is suffering. Craving is the cause of suffering. That there is a cessation of craving, and the cessation of craving is blissful. And if we get on a path, we have to understand that we are made up of 5 khandhas. We divide into mind and body. We can examine to see what our body is like. And we can examine our mind. And to examine our mind properly, we can divide into 4 categories, feeling, perception, thought, and consciousness. And those things arises and passes away. It's natural. You don't hold on to them. Right? And things happen according to the process of dependent origination. Because of contact, feeling arises. This feeling that arises is conditioned. Dependent on feeling, craving arising. Craving, attachment, clinging arising. Clinging as becoming. So at each of this process, we can let go. If we're at a stage of becoming, we let go of becoming, so there's no birth. If we're at a stage of attachment or clinging, we let go of that. If we try to look at a stage between craving and clinging, we learn to let go. The only way we can see that is by increasing the strength of our mind, increasing our concentration, increasing our mindfulness, maintaining that concentration, maintaining the mindfulness daily, so we can catch it. One of the reasons that a lot of people do not enter the path, even though they know about all these things, is because they have this tremendous doubt that it's not possible to do it. You don't know the way. It's too difficult. And all these ideas, come from delusion in itself. That's the job of delusion. Prevent itself of being destroyed, keeping itself alive, convincing you, that it's impossible to do it. Too big a job. You don't have the strength to do it. You don't know how to do it. And the Buddha has talked about it several times, and he called it Mara. Every time when sometimes when he's giving a talk, then Mara would come into one of his pupils and voice it out. It's delusion. This doubt. Fortunately, the only way to overcome this doubt is to have faith, to have confidence. And to have faith, you have to at least get on the first path, to see for yourself that you work, that it's really worthwhile. Right? It's only through experiencing through practice that you can know for real that this thing works, that this thing is worthwhile. Reading about it, whatever you read, there's always this delusion that gives its opinion, its view. It's always that. Smarter you are, the more delusion can use it. Your smartness, your intelligence, will give you a better theory why it doesn't work. You know? So where do we start? You know? So we start with meditation. Because when we sit down and do meditation, we are actually dealing with whatever that's coming up. We actually see things. We strengthen our mind. And we learn to see what's wholesome, what's unwholesome. It is the time when we sit in meditation and achieve a wholesome state of mind. That's the time when craving do not arise, when delusion do not arise. You see, we all have a big problem because delusion and craving are great friends. They help each other. Delusion convinces you that craving is good. And when we get on the path, first thing is got to hold on to it. Right? No matter how far along the path we are on, you've got to hold on to the path. Because we try not to underestimate the power of delusion and craving. Craving is very strong. Delusion is very strong. It doesn't appear when you cannot win. Right? It doesn't appear very well when you know. Right? And it knows when you're weak, and it appears. Craving and delusion. Oh, they wait. They wait. You have a good state of mind, it will not appear. Right? As soon as your mindfulness weaken, they arise, convince you. One of the most important practice in meditation is developing the strength of the moment. To develop both concentration and mindfulness. Once you have that, then you can have a strong insight, you can use it. You need the calmness of the mind, the strength of the mind to maintain, to see what is arising, to tackle the problem, to see what the causes are. Right? So developing calm is a very important practice. And with the development of calm, you also have joy. There's only one thing that's much stronger than craving. Most of the good news. And that's Nibbana. Right. Once you've gone on the path and you make the first breakthrough, then you have the glimpse of Nibbana, and you call a stream winner. And that's because you flow like a stream towards the ocean of Nibbana. And that's because Nibbana is very strong. Stronger than craving. Craving would not, and delusion would not take you away anymore. Right? So you're a stream winner. So you definitely reach Nibbana. So although delusion and craving are very strong, once you make the first breakthrough, you're guaranteed to reach Nibbana in 7 lifetimes. That's a guarantee by the Buddha. If you become a once returner, that means you return to this sense sphere once. A never returner, that means you never return to the sense sphere, the world of the sense sphere. So the most important thing is to get to that first breakthrough. And once you get there, they can relax a little bit. But whatever that you do in this lifetime, even though that you do not achieve it, you have set up a condition for future on. That's very valuable. You set up the seed. You've been planted the seed. You've been planted the inside. I think I'll end the talk now.